All right, bless the caregivers out there. Nearly 17% of the U.S. adult population provides care to an adult over the age of 50. I have someone in my family currently going through this. Dr. Sheryl Ziegler joins us this morning to talk about the toll that this can take. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
A big part of this is burnout, caregiver burnout. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's very real, and I want it to get the attention it deserves. So burnout is the physical and emotional exhaustion that results from feeling like you are no longer good at your job or your job is just too exhausting. And there's a large segment of the population, whether that's the sandwich generation, or they're taking care of aging parents and children, or just people who become caregivers, that have to spend all of their time on this one area and feel completely depleted and usually isolated as a result.
If you're a caregiver, how do you know that you're going through this burnout?
So you're really looking for signs of you're physically exhausted, you're emotionally drained, meaning you're irritable, usually feels like depression, you feel very lonely, and you feel complete overwhelm. I would say overwhelm is usually the top way people describe themselves. On top of that, usually the sources of stress are financial, and then there's family stressors, maybe people chiming in saying, oh, maybe you should be doing this or this, that feeling criticized.
Right.
And then that isolation and loneliness, just feeling like there's maybe no end in sight. If you have some of those signs, that means you're probably, at the very least, caregiver stress, but probably heading toward burnout.
Yeah, no end in sight, and probably no one really understands, right? Because
Yes.
you're with that person 24/7. Who's most affected by this?
So interestingly, women, disproportionately 75% of caregivers are women,
Wow.
but also people of color. So culturally and ethnicity, it really makes a difference. So Hispanic families tend to say, okay, there's something that happened, maybe something medical, usually something medical, and they tend to want to take care of that loved one within their home. So again, women and families of color disproportionately affected by this.
What should someone do, a caregiver do, if they are feeling this burnout?
So first and foremost, really important to try to join a support group. There is something to not feeling alone, even though they can't maybe change your circumstance, just feeling like there's a group of people, and that can just be online. So joining a support group, finding therapy if you think that would be helpful. But one of the biggest things is also learning how to ask for help and then learning how to receive it. So that caregiver usually feels guilty asking other people for things. Oh, well, everybody else is busy too. That's really common. So learning how to just simply say something like, hey, if you could organize, a grocery delivery service for me, you just pop online and that would be a huge help.
Yeah.
Or let me go out on a Saturday, let me go get some time for myself, get my hair done, or whatever it might be. Those little things really go a long way. And the last thing I'll say is for the loved ones around the caregiver, I think they hold a certain role. A lot of times they feel like, I'm doing everything I can do. I don't know what else to do. Just go ahead and assume that at any given time they could use a break.
Yeah.
And so if you have an hour or two to spare, just go ahead and pop over and just say, go do whatever you want. Go take a nap if you want, or leave the house. This is what I can do for you. Any little thing usually is really quite appreciated and helpful.
Especially, I feel like the fear there is, especially because this is the older population, you're talking about, let's say a wife caring for her husband and they're older. The fear is that the caregiver stops taking care of herself or hurts herself while she's doing it. And that's a big worry as well.
Absolutely. So self-care is something that just actually goes away. And if you would talk to somebody, they would say, when would I ever have time? This is a 24/7 job. And so again, that loneliness and isolation is so prevalent. So those supporting the caregiver, any little amount that they can give really does go a long way. And just family planning, I would say if you're not there quite yet, but you could see it coming, family planning and being proactive can be really helpful.
Yeah, that's huge. As we say, it takes a village, right? In
does.
this situation, big time. Dr. Ziegler, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.